In a storm of bitter words and raw emotions, the leader of a well-known charity has leveled serious accusations against Prince Harry. Dr. Sophie Shandaka, who sits at the head of Sentebale, the charity co-founded by the Duke of Sussex, claims that Harry has waged an all-out personal campaign of harassment and bullying. Her vivid description paints a picture of a toxic brand that has not only wounded her spirit but also threatened the very heart of the organization. Could this be the unraveling of a legacy built on noble aims? Dr. Shandaka recalls a fateful moment when the Sussex entourage, as she calls it, descended upon her with relentless force. In a message charged with disbelief and defiance, she declared, "The team is resolved that Sentebale will live on, with or without you." The imagery of an unstoppable machine, unleashed without warning, sends shivers down the spine. What might the future hold for a charity caught in such a turbulent clash of wills? Her troubles with the Sussex faction did not appear overnight. About a year ago, a growing strain between her and Prince Harry began to show its dark colors. At one point, she was even urged by his team to stand up for Meghan Markle amid a swirl of bad press, a request she firmly declined. The refusal set off a chain reaction, culminating in Prince Harry's dramatic exit from the charity last week. A move he claimed was meant to stand in solidarity with trustees who had lost hope when ties with the formidable lawyer, Dr. Shandaka, shattered completely. How deep does the wound run when trust is betrayed in such a public way? In a further twist of the saga, today's interview saw Dr. Shandaka lay bare her concerns about the damaging influence of the Sussex brand on Sentebale's mission. She warned that the biggest risk facing the charity was the toxicity brought in by its lead patron. With Prince Harry's controversial move to the U.S. stirring up mixed feelings, potential donors and senior recruits began to question the charity's values and leadership. When you start to interview people, they're asking about these mixed messages around the patron, she explained. This raises a haunting question: can a charity survive when its public image is its worst enemy? The narrative takes another dramatic turn as Dr. Shandaka accused both Prince Harry and co-founder Prince Seeiso of Lesotho of deliberately trying to sabotage the charity, only to later swoop in and rescue it. In her first interview amid the brewing storm, she fought back with fierce passion to defend her record. Yet, the revelations didn't stop there. In a bombshell on a popular morning show, she leveled further charges, alleging that the Duke of Sussex engaged in widespread harassment and bullying. Could such actions really be hidden behind a veneer of royal duty? During her appearance on the morning program, when asked directly if she was accusing Prince Harry of misconduct, Dr. Shandaka did not hold back. She detailed how Harry had pushed out a damaging announcement about his and other trustees' departure, without so much as a word to her or her team, a move she called nothing short of an attack. "It was like unleashing the Sussex machine on me," she said, describing how the relentless media gears churned out the news, leaving her and the 540 employees at Sentebale to fend off the backlash. Isn't it strange how power can sometimes be wielded like a weapon? When pressed for an explanation of this so-called Sussex machine, she painted a stark picture of a well-oiled public relations engine that kicks into high gear at the slightest provocation, driving newspapers into overdrive. This explosive narrative followed a recent statement by Sentebale, a charity founded in 2006 in memory of Prince Harry's late mother Diana to support AIDS orphans in southern Africa, that placed more value on field workers than on the trustees at the helm. The statement hinted at a deep internal rift, leaving readers to wonder, when loyalty is divided, who really stands for the cause? The charity's statement grew even more charged as it denounced those who act as if they are above the law, only to then turn around and play the victim. It accused such figures of using the press to target those brave enough to call out their wrongdoings. Meanwhile, Prince Harry remained silent, his quietude speaking volumes. Yet, a longtime source familiar with his early days in the charity confided that the fallout from these events would be hard to sugarcoat. "He'll be reeling," the source remarked, leading us to ponder the true cost of personal and public conflict. Sentebale has since reaffirmed its promise to support the youth of the region, even as it forges ahead without the backing of its royal patron. The charity's departure from his shadow was a protest against what they described as Miss Shandaka's untenable actions. However, insiders close to the former board members dismissed her claims of bullying as entirely unfounded. Despite this, serious allegations of racism, sexism, and bullying now hang over the organization like a dark cloud. How will these charges shape the charity's future? Tensions reached a boiling point when the board formally asked Dr. Shandaka to step down. When she refused, they attempted to force her resignation through a vote, a move she countered by filing a legal challenge in the High Court to stop the meeting. Although no formal records emerged from the Royal Courts of Justice, it seems the judge saw no need for further hearings as the board meeting was eventually cancelled. The outcome of her legal battle remains murky, and Prince Harry himself is not under any legal scrutiny. Could this standoff be the calm before a legal storm? Representatives for Prince Harry have flatly denied any attempt to dismantle the charity for personal gain. Dr. Shandaka, who once trained as a lawyer in London, insists she is on a mission to reinvent Sentebale for modern times. The way the organization was set up back in 2006 just doesn't fit in 2023, she told a leading business newspaper, alluding to changes in society after the Black Lives Matter movement. Her vision, however, sparked clashes between staff in the UK and those based in Lesotho, where over 500 workers call home. Isn't it fascinating how a push for progress can lead to such cultural friction? Some board members admitted to feeling the loss of power and control, with one even remarking in disbelief as if the local staff were suddenly taking over. Dr. Shandaka, however, insists that her efforts have been met not with support but with disrespect, bullying, and even misogyny, claims that have been strongly denied by those involved. It's a tangled web of allegations, with no hints that either Prince Harry or Prince Seeso shared these unsavory behaviors. The contrast leaves us with one burning question: who is really at fault here? One trustee, Kalelo Larafalai, stated on a well-known news channel that in all the meetings he attended, he never sensed even a whisper of such mistreatment. Meanwhile, a long-serving trustee, Baroness Linda Chalker of Wallasey, recalled how Dr. Shandaka's strong-handed approach had led to bitter clashes over the years. The roots of the conflict remain deeply disputed. Dr. Shandaka herself traced the first hints of trouble back to April 2024, marking the start of what many now see as a drawn-out power struggle. Could this be the turning point that reshapes the charity's destiny? Some insiders argue that the dispute isn't personal at all, but rather a sign of long-ignored issues finally coming to light. The trustees had tried to handle matters quietly, even urging her to rethink her role because of a growing loss of trust. Lawyers for Prince Harry confirmed that a breakdown in relations with key staff, trustees, and donors had indeed taken place. A spokesperson for the Charity Commission added, "We are aware of concerns regarding Sentebale's governance and are looking into the matter." With such high stakes, will justice and clarity eventually prevail? In a dramatic farewell note, the charity's 5 former trustees, including Harry's trusted mentor Mark Dyer, a former army captain who once joined him on a life-changing trip to Lesotho, stated that they could no longer serve under the current leadership. Their resignation was a clear sign of lost trust and mounting frustration. Dr. Shandaka then fired back with a sharp remark directed at Prince Harry, declaring, "For me, this isn't a vanity project from which I can bow out when I'm held to account." Her words echoed with defiance as she proudly declared her background and unwavering commitment, saying, "I am an African with a world-class education and career, and I will not be bullied." Could this unwavering resolve spark a new era for the charity? As the situation grows ever more complex, one source close to Prince Harry described the scenario as hugely sensitive, urging everyone to let the facts come out before passing judgment. The Charity Commission will investigate, and that process must take its course, they said, leaving us with the lingering thought of impending revelations. In the midst of such swirling controversies, both Sentebale and the Sussex family have been asked for comment, and the coming days promise more twists in this turbulent tale. What will the next chapter bring?